Have you ever noticed that, despite eating your greens, doing your daily walk, and even cutting down on sweets, your legs still feel weak? Maybe it takes a little longer to stand up from the couch. Maybe walking to the mailbox feels like you're climbing uphill. Is it just age? Or could it be something sneaky that's found right on your dinner plate? See, most seniors have been told the same thing over and over again. Eat your vegetables, they're good for you. And that's mostly true. Vegetables can be incredible for your health. But here's the twist. Not all vegetables are created equal, especially after age 60. In fact, there are certain vegetables that can quietly sabotage your strength, your balance, and even your joints. And odds are, you're eating them right now, completely unaware. The truth is, once you hit your golden years, your body doesn't process food the same way it used to. Your circulation slows down, inflammation rises, and digestion becomes more sensitive. That means some vegetables, even the ones with the best reputations, can actually work against you. They can increase swelling, stiffen your joints, and leave your legs feeling heavier, slower, and more unstable. And the worst part? The damage is silent. There's no big red warning sign, no instant reaction. You just slowly start feeling more tired after a walk, more sore after sitting. You've lost just a bit more mobility, and you can't figure out why. That's why today, I want to clear the air. Because knowing which 3 vegetables you should never touch and which 3 you must eat can make a world of difference, not just for your health, but for your independence. Whether it's walking unassisted, climbing stairs with ease, or simply waking up without that dull, nagging pain in your legs, it starts here, with your plate. And don't worry, we're not here to scare you into eating bland food. In fact, some of the best vegetables for seniors are delicious, nutrient-rich, and can help you feel stronger within days. So stay with me, because this video could be the wake-up call your body's been waiting for. Now, before we get into the list, do me a quick favor. If you're watching and care about your health, hit that like button and subscribe for more real talk on senior wellness. And tell me in the comments, have your legs been feeling stiffer lately? Type 1 if yes, 0 if no. All right, let's dig in. Because the first vegetable may surprise you. It's one that's praised for its health benefits, yet it could be secretly draining the strength from your legs. Now, before we jump into the specific vegetables, I want to explain something that very few people talk about: how your body actually changes after 60, and why certain healthy vegetables can turn into silent saboteurs. Because here's the truth. Aging isn't just about wrinkles and gray hair. Internally, your body goes through real physical changes. And one of the biggest is your digestive system. See, your gut becomes more sensitive. Your stomach acid decreases, meaning you don't break down food the way you used to. And the good bacteria in your intestines, the kind that help with digestion and inflammation, start to decline. So, while you might have been able to scarf down a giant raw salad at 30 with no problem, now at 65 or 70, that same salad can lead to bloating, inflammation, and even joint pain. It's not your fault. It's not that you're doing anything wrong, it's that your biology has changed and the foods that once fueled you might now be working against you. And let's not forget circulation. Blood flow slows down as we age, and poor circulation means less oxygen getting to your leg muscles and joints. Now imagine eating a vegetable that increases inflammation or causes a spike in blood sugar. That's a recipe for stiff knees, swollen ankles, and muscle fatigue. Even some of the superfoods, the ones plastered all over magazine covers and health blogs, can be problematic. Why? Because they contain compounds like oxalates, lectins, solanine, or natural sugars that were fine in youth but now quietly irritate your joints, raise uric acid, or strain your kidneys. And here's the kicker. The symptoms don't show up right away. It's not like eating a bad vegetable will send you to the ER. No, the pain is slow, creeping, and easy to dismiss. You feel a little sore after gardening. You struggle just a bit more on the stairs. And eventually you start believing it's just getting older. But it's not always age. Sometimes it's your diet. This is why it's so important to eat for your age, not just eat what's healthy. Because what works for a 25-year-old athlete might wreck a 70-year-old with arthritis or poor circulation. So now that we've uncovered the why behind this, let's talk about the first veggie you need to watch out for. It's one you've definitely eaten, probably even this week, and while it's packed with nutrients, it also contains compounds that can inflame your joints and weaken your legs over time. Let's talk about tomatoes. Yep, bright red, juicy, tossed in salads, blended into sauces, and sitting proudly on almost every dinner table in America. And if you're like most folks, you've probably heard all the praise. Tomatoes are full of antioxidants, great for your heart, loaded with lycopene. And you know what? All of that is technically true. But here's the part nobody ever tells seniors. Tomatoes also belong to a family of vegetables known as nightshades, and that could be a serious problem if you're over 60. See, nightshades, which include tomatoes, eggplants, peppers, and white potatoes, contain a chemical called solanine. It's a natural defense compound that protects the plant from bugs and disease. But here's the thing. Solanine doesn't do your joints any favors. In fact, research has shown that in people with inflammation issues, arthritis, or slow circulation, solanine can actually aggravate stiffness, increase joint swelling, and lead to more pain in the knees, hips, and ankles. Ever feel that dull ache in your legs after pasta night? Or wake up with stiff knees after eating a fresh caprese salad? That's not just coincidence. It could be your body reacting to the solanine in tomatoes. And it gets worse when you add acidity into the mix. Tomatoes are also high in natural acids, which can irritate your gut lining and throw off your digestion, especially if you already deal with acid reflux, bloating, or IBS. That gut inflammation can spread systemically, and guess where it often shows up first? The legs, the joints, the places where you already feel most vulnerable. Here's the bottom line. Tomatoes aren't evil. But for seniors, especially those dealing with arthritis, circulation issues, or mystery leg pain, they can be a hidden trigger. You don't need to swear off tomatoes for life, but it's time to get smart about how often you eat them, and pay attention to how your body reacts afterward. Now I know what some of you are thinking, but I love tomatoes in my chili, my salads, my sandwiches. I get it. They're tasty. But if your legs feel heavier than usual, if your knees are starting to rebel, or if you wake up with swelling in your ankles after what seemed like a healthy meal, your tomatoes might be doing more harm than good. Try cutting back. Swap in cooked carrots, zucchini, or even avocado. Give your joints a break and see how your body responds. All right, ready for the next one? Because if tomatoes surprised you, the next vegetable might shock you even more. It's often featured in healthy Mediterranean dishes, praised for its fiber and color. But for aging joints, it could be just as risky. Let's keep going. Let's talk about eggplant. I know, it's beautiful. That deep purple skin, the soft texture when roasted, you see it in Mediterranean recipes, vegetarian lasagna, or even those grilled veggie plates that everyone says are heart-healthy. And again, yes, eggplant does contain fiber, antioxidants, and vitamins. But here's what you're not being told. Eggplant contains very high levels of oxalates. And if you're over 60, that's a red flag. Oxalates are naturally occurring compounds found in many plant-based foods. And in small amounts, they're usually fine. But in large amounts, or if your kidneys aren't filtering as efficiently anymore, oxalates can become a problem. They bind to calcium in your bloodstream and form sharp little crystals that love to settle in your joints. And you guessed it, those crystals create inflammation. That means more stiffness, more pressure behind the knees, more of that familiar dragging ache in your calves or hips. And remember solanine? That compound we just talked about with tomatoes? Well, eggplant has that too. So now you've got a double threat. Solanine inflaming your joints, and oxalates potentially triggering pain, swelling, and even kidney stress. Some seniors report feeling more joint stiffness within hours after eating dishes like baba ganoush, eggplant parmesan, or grilled eggplant salad. They might not link it to the food right away. They chalk it up to just another flare-up, or probably slept funny. But over time, it builds. And by the end of the week, you're wondering why your knees feel like they've aged 5 more years. And here's another curveball. Eggplant is often cooked with heavy oils or fried. That's a disaster for circulation and inflammation, especially if you're already managing heart issues or extra weight. Look, I'm not saying you can never touch eggplant again, but if you're over 60 and you've noticed a connection between certain meals and leg discomfort, this vegetable is one you need to monitor carefully, especially if you're already battling arthritis, gout, or joint stiffness. So what can you do? Well, try replacing eggplant with zucchini or roasted carrots. Both are softer on the joints, easier to digest, and still bring that satisfying texture and flavor. Even squash can be a game changer, gentle on the system and full of anti-inflammatory benefits. All right, take a breath, because the next one's going to sting a little. It's a green vegetable that's been a health food hero for decades, praised by fitness magazines and nutritionists, but it could be quietly draining calcium from your bones and leaving your legs feeling stiff, sore, and tired. Ready? Let's talk about spinach, and not in the way you've heard before. Now this one might hit home for a lot of you, because it's been praised for years as one of the ultimate health foods. You've seen it in smoothies, salads, health drinks, even Popeye swore by it. But for seniors over 60, spinach might be doing you more harm than good. Now, don't get me wrong, spinach has nutrients. It's packed with iron, magnesium, and folate. But here's the side of the story you're not hearing. Raw spinach is loaded with oxalates, and if you're not digesting like you used to, those oxalates could be silently attacking your legs and joints. Let's break this down. Oxalates, when consumed in excess, can bind with calcium and form sharp, sand-like crystals that get stuck in your kidneys and joints. This not only increases your risk for kidney stones, it also contributes to inflammation, stiffness, and that deep, dragging pain in your legs. Sound familiar? Think about this. Have you ever had a spinach salad for lunch, and then by evening your legs felt tight, your lower back ached, or your knees felt swollen when climbing the stairs? That might not be just aging. That might be your body reacting to the oxalates in spinach. And here's the kicker. Many seniors eat spinach because they think it helps with bone strength, but in reality, those oxalates can actually block calcium absorption, meaning your bones and joints may be getting less of what they need, not more. Imagine that, thinking you're doing something healthy, but it's actually leaching calcium right from your system. Now, does that mean you can never eat spinach again? Not exactly. But it does mean you need to be smart about how you prepare it. The raw spinach in your smoothie? Might want to rethink that. Steaming or lightly cooking spinach can reduce oxalate levels by up to 40%, making it far easier on your body. And rotating in lower oxalate greens like kale, arugula, or romaine can keep your diet balanced and your joints much happier. Also, think about the frequency. If you're eating raw spinach every day, it could be time to scale back. Variety is key, especially when you're managing inflammation or mobility issues. You've got to remember, what worked for your body at 30 isn't always what works at 70. It's not about giving up food. It's about eating in a way that respects where your body is today. So now spinach, while powerful, can also be a quiet thief of strength if not handled wisely. All right, deep breath, because we're switching gears. Now that we've exposed the 3 veggies that could be holding you back, it's time for the good news. Let's talk about the vegetables that can actually heal, strengthen, and revitalize your legs. Starting with one that's earthy, sweet, and absolutely powerful for your circulation. Let's move into the first must-eat vegetable for seniors: beets. Now that we've cleared out the troublemakers, it's time for some good news, and it starts with a vegetable that's earthy, a little sweet, and honestly, one of the best-kept secrets for strong, pain-free legs over 60. Let's talk about beets. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Yep, beets. The ruby red root that your grandparents might have boiled into oblivion back in the day. But today, science is finally catching up to what many traditional cultures already knew. Beets are one of the most powerful foods for circulation, leg strength, and natural energy. Here's why. Beets are naturally rich in nitrates, not the bad kind you find in processed meats, but the good kind that your body converts into nitric oxide. What's nitric oxide? It's a molecule that helps your blood vessels relax and open up. That means better blood flow, especially to your legs, feet, and muscles. Let me ask you this, do your legs ever feel heavy halfway through the day? Do you feel like you've run a marathon just walking across a parking lot? That could be poor circulation. Beets help fix that. In fact, several studies have shown that drinking beet juice or eating roasted beets daily can improve walking distance in seniors with circulation problems. That's not hype, that's hard data. It's like giving your legs a breath of fresh air. And it's not just blood flow. Beets are packed with anti-inflammatory compounds, fiber, and antioxidants that help support healthy joints, lower blood pressure, and keep your energy levels stable. And unlike spinach or eggplant, beets are very gentle on the stomach, and they don't interfere with calcium or aggravate inflammation. Plus, they're versatile. You can roast them, steam them, blend them into smoothies, or toss them on a salad. You can even buy pre-cooked beets at most grocery stores now. No mess, no fuss. Just be aware of one thing. Don't be alarmed if your urine or stool turns pinkish red. That's totally normal and harmless. It's called beeturia. Your body's just processing the pigments. So if you've been feeling the signs, the stiffness, the soreness, the slow start when getting out of bed, it might be time to give beets a chance. Even just a half cup a day can make a noticeable difference over time. And here's a tip. Combine beets with some healthy fats, like olive oil or avocado, to boost absorption and give your joints even more of what they need. All right, now we're cooking. 1 down, 2 to go. Next up is a vegetable that's naturally sweet, loaded with anti-inflammatory compounds, and incredibly friendly to aging joints and blood sugar levels. Let's talk about sweet potatoes and why they're a senior's best friend in disguise. Now, if beets are your circulation superhero, then sweet potatoes are your joint's best friend. And here's why. Sweet potatoes are one of the few foods that check all the boxes for seniors. They're anti-inflammatory, blood sugar friendly, easy to digest, and packed with nutrients that support muscle function, bone health, and mobility. Let's break this down. First off, sweet potatoes are loaded with beta-carotene, which your body converts into vitamin A. Why does that matter? Because vitamin A helps reduce oxidative stress, one of the biggest drivers of joint pain and muscle fatigue as you age. If your knees feel tight, if your calves ache by the end of the day, or if stairs have become your personal Everest, you may be dealing with inflammation, and sweet potatoes are a natural way to calm it down. But they don't stop there. Sweet potatoes are also rich in potassium, and this is a big deal. Potassium helps balance sodium in your body, which reduces fluid retention, a major cause of swollen legs and ankles. Ever feel that puffiness in your lower legs after a salty meal? That's your body crying out for potassium, and sweet potatoes deliver. Plus, they contain slow-burning carbs, which means they don't spike your blood sugar the way white potatoes or refined carbs do. And stable blood sugar is huge for seniors. Why? Because blood sugar swings can lead to nerve issues, poor circulation, and even muscle weakness, especially in your legs and feet. And here's the best part. They taste amazing. Unlike a lot of healthy food, sweet potatoes are naturally sweet, satisfying, and easy to work into any meal. You can roast them, mash them, or even slice them into wedges and bake them like fries. Add a little cinnamon, and it's comfort food with a purpose. Now, a quick tip. Whenever you eat sweet potatoes, pair them with a little fat, like a dab of coconut oil or a drizzle of olive oil. This helps your body absorb the fat-soluble vitamins and keeps you full longer. So, if you're dealing with aching joints, fatigue after walking, or just want a better way to fuel your body without the crash, sweet potatoes are one of the best choices you can make. They're gentle on your digestion, easy on your joints, and friendly to your blood vessels. All things that become more important with every year. All right, we've got two strong allies on the table. Beets for blood flow, sweet potatoes for joint support. But now it's time to bring in the heavy hitters. A family of vegetables known for slamming the brakes on inflammation, protecting your bones, and even fighting off age-related stiffness like no other. Let's move on to the final must-eat, the cruciferous crew, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, and their powerhouse cousins. If you've made it this far, you already know, your diet can either build you up or slowly wear you down. But if there's one group of vegetables that deserves a permanent spot on your plate as you age, it's cruciferous vegetables. I'm talking about broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cauliflower, kale, and cabbage, a family of green giants that do way more than just sit on the side of your plate. These veggies are powerhouses when it comes to protecting your joints, improving mobility, and even fighting off chronic inflammation. Let's start with one word, sulforaphane. That's the compound inside cruciferous vegetables that acts like a natural anti-inflammatory and detoxifier. Think of it as your body's cleanup crew. Sulforaphane helps neutralize harmful toxins, reduce inflammatory markers, and protect your cartilage, which is essential if your knees creak, your hips ache, or your ankles swell up after even mild activity. Research has shown that sulforaphane can help slow cartilage deterioration, especially in conditions like arthritis, which, let's face it, hits hard once you're past 60. But that's just the start. Cruciferous vegetables are also high in vitamin K, which plays a key role in bone health and calcium regulation. Low vitamin K has been linked to weak bones and increased fracture risk, and when your legs are carrying your whole body, every step depends on strong, resilient bones. They're also a great source of vitamin C, which helps your body produce collagen, the protein that keeps your joints flexible and your ligaments strong. Without enough collagen, your joints feel stiff, your movements feel restricted, and your body just doesn't recover like it used to. Now let's talk practicality, because I know what you're thinking. But I hate Brussels sprouts. Fair. But times have changed. These aren't the mushy, boiled-to-death Brussels your grandma used to make. Roast them with a little olive oil and garlic, and you've got a crisp, flavorful side dish that even picky eaters enjoy. Same goes for broccoli. Steam it lightly, toss it in a stir-fry, or blend it into a soup. And cabbage? You can shred it into a crunchy slaw or saute it with onions for an easy, gut-friendly meal. And here's a bonus. Cruciferous veggies are excellent for your liver. That means better detox, better hormone balance, and fewer inflammatory buildups that can leave your joints throbbing and your muscles aching. So, let's recap. Beets for circulation, sweet potatoes for inflammation and steady energy. And now the cruciferous crew for all-around joint protection and bone strength. Together, they form a trio that doesn't just support your legs, they transform the way you move, feel, and function every single day. You don't need miracle pills. You need foods that work with your body, not against it. And now that you know which veggies to avoid, and which ones to prioritize, you've got the tools to walk stronger, stand taller, and age on your own terms. But hang on, we're not done just yet. Before you go, I've got a few final words of encouragement for you. Something important. Because the truth is, none of this matters unless you believe that change is still possible, and it is. Let's wrap this up the right way. If you've made it this far, that tells me one thing for sure. You care about your health, your strength, your future. And if nobody's told you this yet today, let me be the first. It's not too late. I know how easy it is to believe that weakness, soreness, and stiff joints are just part of getting old. But here's the truth that most people don't hear enough. You have more control than you think. Your legs don't have to hurt. Climbing stairs doesn't have to feel like scaling a mountain. Getting up from a chair shouldn't be a 5-step process. And no, you are not destined for a walker just because you've hit 65 or 70. The foods you eat, the ones you thought were helping, could actually be holding you back. And the ones you've maybe overlooked, they could be the key to getting your energy, your mobility, and your independence back. Let's take a second to recap, because this is powerful stuff. Avoid tomatoes, eggplant, and raw spinach. They might sound healthy, but for seniors, they can silently inflame your joints, drain your energy, and make your legs feel heavier and more painful day by day. Instead, focus on beets for better blood flow, sweet potatoes for smooth joints and steady energy, and the cruciferous crew, broccoli, Brussels, cabbage, and kale, to power up your bones, reduce inflammation, and fuel your body with what it truly needs. None of this is about perfection. It's about making smart choices, starting with your next meal, one swap at a time, one step forward at a time. And here's something I want you to hear loud and clear. Your body is listening. Every time you choose the right foods, you're not just eating, you're healing, you're strengthening. You're investing in your future mobility, confidence, and quality of life. So here's your mission, and I say this with respect and encouragement. Take one thing you learned today and put it into action this week. If your knees feel better, your legs feel lighter, or you notice less swelling, come back and let us know in the comments. If this opened your eyes or helped you think differently, type 1 below. If not, type 0. I want to know who's really in this with me. And if you haven't yet, click that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next big truth about your health. Because this channel, it's about telling you the things nobody else is saying, the things that could help you stay active, independent, and strong for years to come. Remember, it's never too late to change, but the sooner you start, the stronger you'll finish. Stay sharp, stay mobile, and keep your legs and your life moving forward.